So there is a music artist out there named David, born March 28, 2005, and raised in Houston, Texas. His come-up story is actually pretty insane. The guy was a YouTuber trying to be the next big gaming streamer, and so back in 2018, he was creating Fortnite content, including montages.
So basically, I played Fortnite from 2017 to 2021. I became a YouTuber. I was playing Call of Duty, Fortnite, all these different type of games. So try to become like the biggest next thing, streamer, Kai Cenat, everything.
All right, that first clip is from Jamari. Make sure you go to his YouTube channel, check him out. Also, the remainder of this video that we're about to react to is Trap Lord Ross. You know, he digs in the crate, he gets into the information. So another thing I want to say too is that whether he did it or not, he's still crazy for even dealing with this person. You see the age difference. Something wrong with boy psychologically. Let me go ahead and press play. We're going to go ahead and react to the video. And when the video is done, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. In the meantime, leave a message in the comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let's go, baby.
David's situation just keeps getting darker, and some new stuff has been circulating over the last couple of days that, I'm not going to lie, it sounds like other people might have been in danger based on what was going on, with David and this young underage girl, Celeste. Okay, it's very strange, it's very spooky, and based on a couple of messages that have been circulating, it does sound like there's a possibility that there could be another victim. Another person might have lost their life having been tangled up in this twisted love triangle, and as I said before, this just keeps getting sadder and sadder. Now, if you saw the video that I posted yesterday, I did a full 2-hour breakdown about the whole situation. I really couldn't believe what I was seeing. I did this video yesterday, all right? David hid clues about murder in every song. I didn't intend for this originally to be 2 hours, but I just kept finding facts. I kept finding info. I kept finding lyrics and music videos that were extremely alarming. And, you know, you guys have kind of given your response on this. I think everybody is just in shock and disbelief over what's going on. This comments, put him in J4IL. Put D4Vd in J4IL, saying, if you're hanging out with a freshly out of elementary school child as someone who's in college, university, you are suspect.
Super.
Says his song lyrics read like poems from a 14-year-old emo kid who got grounded. People saying they'd never heard of him. The man was singing PDF jingles. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about today. He says her brother said in a chat that he said he was waiting till she turned 18 to marry her. I just don't understand how so many people knew and didn't question it or do anything. Now, it's interesting that he would say that because there's this image that's been going around on Reddit. It says, I don't know if this has been posted yet, but here's a screenshot from one of Celeste's stories. Now, that's her left hand and that's her ring finger. This is an engagement ring, okay? This is an engagement ring. I guess this would have allegedly been her Finstagram account, and she's showing off a big rock. She's showing off an engagement ring with love hearts. She's out for lunch or dinner or a smoothie or something with David, right? We recognize that little spot star on his head from you know, from the last video he'd appeared. Yes, in the video thumbnail. You know, it's the same image of him with the little star on his head. Are those spots like zit stickers? I'll be using those. I got the blue ones. I definitely can't be rocking the black ones now. That's a bad look. But yeah, people are saying that this is an engagement ring, okay? So this is essentially something that's been going around. I did touch on this in the last video, but I didn't really have time. There was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't even get a chance to get to. But, you know, trigger warning, okay? I'm making this video for documentary journalistic purposes, okay? This is a story in the public interest. It's a public story, and I just need to give you guys a warning, okay? I don't intend to disrespect or put down or belittle any of the situations that I'll be covering in this video. It's a very serious topic. It's very important that I warn you that we're going to be talking about very triggering themes like SA.
I ain't gonna lie. I had to ask my daughter. My daughter's 14, so I had to ask her. I said, look, baby girl, you know about this guy? And she said, yeah, Dad, I heard of him before, you know. We seen him, me and my friends, we seen him a couple of times on Fortnite, you know, a couple of years ago. I'm like, what? But she never spoke to the guy, but I'm always more on point, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, I feel like I'm always on point with certain things, but I don't understand how I let that one slip over my head. Pause, but no more. I'm on top of it, y'all. You hear me? I'm on top of it. He's diabolical.
An underage girl seemingly being groomed, and and very nefarious activities. So, you know, if that's not for you, if that's something that's going to be triggering for you, don't watch the rest of this. But essentially, this post is going around that Celeste's brother speaks up and reveals that David did kill his sister. Whole chat attached. And they're saying that this is her brother. All right, this is a screenshot of something that I touched on in the last video. Celeste's brother speaks up and reveals that David did kill his sister. Okay. This is a chat. Somebody says, dude, why does David follow you? All respect to your sister, and I hate how shitty people are being. Was it really him, Jesus, all love, man? He replied, yes, it was him, because he found my account out of nowhere and followed me. This dude says, fuck. Well, he has it coming. That's wild to just randomly. Did you ever even talk to him? I met him once in person. She says, something, being with him, like, was she living with him? All of this shit's so confusing and disgusting. And he replies, I knew and I went to the police about it, but they said lack of evidence, so it was waved off. They responded, bullshit. Now that there's 1,000 people backing you up, that won't happen again. But if they had listened, he says, even if they don't do anything, they haven't even done anything towards him. And they reply, that's how it is with celebrities. Just look at fucking Diddy. They don't do shit. He says, I know it effing sucks. Effing crazy that people suffer for it. How long has she been gone? And he replied, dead. And he says 2 weeks. Now, this might have been a big reveal. I don't know if this is necessarily accurate. There's been a lot of speculation over how long the body had been left in that trunk. You know, trigger warning, but the body had been cut up, wrapped in plastic, and it had been severely decomposed. That's what the police said. Now, he's saying 2 weeks. That could be information that's been revealed to the family privately to say that the body was decomposed and she would have passed away 2 weeks ago, or maybe he knows, you know, maybe she stopped replying 2 weeks ago. Maybe they last heard from her 2 weeks ago. Maybe that's an indication of she was active until 2 weeks ago, but we don't know for sure. So the person replies, says, damn, that soon? People have been saying like a month. The dude's a weirdo. His songs all have weird messages and imagery. He says, what do you think happened? Like he didn't just want her to expose him being with her? The brother replies, I don't know. He says, damn. Was your sister like in love with him and choosing to stay? I'm guessing that it was all just him manipulating her. He said, yeah, she was always saying that he was waiting till she was 18 to get married and stuff like that. He replied, effing sick. What's crazy about all those people in his circle who knew and say stuff? I saw one guy did get sued by something pushing. He said,
I don't know. I don't know. Did he say this is her brother? Because, man, listen. Ain't no way. That dude is not scary. He like a pencil. You understand what I'm saying? I could break him and squeeze him with my left hand. I don't understand how anyone is scared of this guy right here. He's no magician. He ain't no tough Tony. He's none of that right there. He's not the illest nigga in Nebraska. None of that. So I don't know what's going on right now. I guess because they're young. They probably impressionable. They get scared quick. I don't know.
Dog what? I never knew that. My sister wouldn't say anything, ever. He says, dude, there's so much stuff in the Discord that he has. He says, what the F? There's a Discord? And he says, yeah, it was just his fan Discord and stuff. I wasn't in it, obviously, but from what I know, he was decently active in it. And some screenshots and screen recordings were posted today and yesterday after the news showed one guy saying this. And basically, this is the post from the Discord. Somebody commented, drop the song about the missing girl, Celeste Rivas. This was all the way back in August 2024. And he says, what the F? No way, dude. Please send me more if you know. He says, I got you, bro. Let me find everything that's been posted for you. That's why I said so many people were after David now after this. They have found so much evidence to back this stuff up. The brother replies, dude, I never knew this stuff. And then this random guy says, only a small number of people were aware until today. The brother replied, I wish I could have known. I could have used this. And the dude replies, you don't have your sister added on Discord, right? Bro replies, I don't even have Discord. And then this dude says, yeah, I was just seeing because someone had a screenshot of her account, supposedly. And then this guy replies, said, this is what I got. He sends all the Discord screenshots, bunch of lyrics, other posts, other comments, sends it all to the brother. He said, are those photos something? I don't know if that's just those photos real or those photos in here. And that song was an unreleased David song.
Did he want to get caught?
And he's posting all of this stuff. Here's the video proving those messages are real. And he replies, are those photos of her? He says, yes. Do you know of any of your sister's Instagram accounts? There were some messages people said was her messaging friends, but not really confirmed yet. And then he sends these screenshots, which, look, These are screenshots from a leaked conversation with Celeste and a friend where she appears to admit to having relations with David, all right? And then the brother sends a bunch of pictures of Celeste saying, that's my sister, dog. That's the same girl. And he says, F, it is. And he says, you think this is real? And now this is where it gets crazy and we start talking about another victim. Yes, do you think this is real? These are the chat logs, okay? And look, I don't know if it's safe to show you this in this video. I didn't show it to you in the last video, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna show you these messages, okay? Trigger warning. These are very dark, but I'm just gonna read these to you and I'm gonna try and redact anything super messed up, okay? But this is allegedly a set of messages between Celeste and a friend.
Just by reading this right here, it looked like a little kid. Like all of us right now, adults, everybody 21 and up, reading this right here, you should just be like, who am I writing to? Like, this is just crazy work. I don't know how that kid brain worked, the David dude, but man, listen, I guess he was stuck at whatever age she is, and he never matured or something like that. But my boy, you on tour. I'm sure you have people older than you, women older than you, throwing themselves to you, and this is what you want to do? I'm telling you, some people don't deserve what they have. They don't know what to do with it.
The friend says, I'm just going to check up on you. Celeste says, I don't want to talk to anyone. The friend says, that's it. And she says, okay, yes, of course. And the friend says, but you have to swear you're going to stay safe. Are you still going to talk to David or go back with him? Because I don't want to get you into any more trouble with him. Celeste replies, I'm safe. No, I'm not. The friend says, okay, I love you. I'll text you in about a week. Don't delete Insta. Celeste replies, love you too, and won't. And now the next set of messages, trigger warning, these do appear to... I don't even want to show this. Yeah. Look,
Let's go, man.
Can I show this? Like, can I even talk about this? I'm not going to add any extra context. I'm just going to very quickly breeze through this, okay? The friend says, I made it. And they say it can bleed and not bleed during stuff because you probably did it when you were younger. I didn't because I wasn't ready. Someone says, you said you bead? And he says, what? And she says, Celeste says, I thought I did, but I just got my pee. I only bead with David.
What?
The person says, And then this guy says, Celeste says, with Gus, I was just drunk and did it because he got mad at me the first time for not having S with him. So that chat appears to reveal that the girl Celeste may have had relations with another person by the name of Gus, right? And then that's where we come back to this comment. Okay, so those screenshots that I just breezed through are here, and they were sent to this person who's allegedly Celeste's brother, and they say, do you think this is real? And the alleged brother replies, yes, I do. I know who Gus is. He's dead. And the person asks, what happened? And they say, he got shot up, dead. And then the comment says, you think by David or just some other stuff? Now, I think I saw an extended version of this where he seemed to reply that it was some other stuff. Yeah, so here's the last part of that message is, he said, you think it was a shot by David or just some other stuff? And the guy just very ominously says, other stuff. And then that's the end of the conversation. They say, okay, now look, I'm not going to lie to you. This is all sounding a bit too suspicious. You're telling me that this Gus guy, this other guy, you've got a love triangle. These two guys are fighting over this young ting, this underage person, all right? And this guy Gus is apparently getting his thing on. They're having some kind of argument. Someone was mad because she said he was mad because I didn't want to have a with him. Twisted. Absolutely twisted, okay? So it sounds like this Gus guy is dead, all right? And we're waiting for more information to come out about this Gus guy. I don't know who this Gus guy is. I don't know what this is all about. But in the midst of that, we're beginning to see more and more little tidbits of evidence come out that are just even more and more damning. So another post has been going around on the David subreddit saying David was wearing her bracelets. That's a picture of him with some bracelets on, and people are saying it's the same bracelets that Celeste had on in this picture. Now, I personally, I'm finding it hard to see that, but it kind of does look like the little pink joint that's going on here. I don't know if it's exactly the same one, but it does look very similar. The kind of hues look a bit similar. Now, one thing that I find a little bit strange, and I've been trying to find some evidence to this, but I seem to remember when the news first broke, I thought that I'd seen a couple of articles basically saying that another body was found. You know,
I did too.
if we're talking about this alleged person called Gus that was killed, that sounds like a man. Sounds like a man's name, right? But I did remember this, and I haven't been able to find anybody else talking about this, and maybe there's no connection. But I did see at the time articles going around that suggested 2 women were found in cars being investigated as homicides. Now, it seemed, I don't know whether this was 2 unrelated situations or whether it's the same situation or whether maybe they initially thought there were 2 bodies because of the way that, you know, sadly the bodies were separated, if that makes sense. But it says the LA County Medical Examiner has released new details on the remains of one of 2 women who were discovered in vehicles at 2 tow yards this week. Both deaths are investigated as homicides.
2 women.
One woman's remains were discovered Monday when police responded to the Hollywood tow on Mansfield Avenue. Someone smelled a foul odor coming from the front trunk of the vehicle, and detectives investigated possible human remains. You know, we learned about that car. The descendant was found severely decomposed inside a vehicle. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. We were unable at the time to examine the age or ethnicity. Initially, the remains were described as a head and torso. The owner of the vehicle was identified as David. And here's what's interesting, right? The body of a second woman was found Tuesday in South Los Angeles after family members filed a missing persons report. The family had tracked a woman to a scorched Honda Civic that was being held on a tow yard at Westgate Avenue. The tow yard operator called LAPD and said family members wanted to look at the car. Investigators rushed to the scene and found the woman's partially burned body in the trunk. The car had been towed onto the lot Sunday from the 6800 block of South Flower Street. The vehicle had been extinguished by LA City Fire, but firefighters never checked in the car and didn't see the woman's remains. So, look, it's not necessary that these 2 are connected. I think this could have been a coincidence. When the first reporting came out and they were talking about 2 bodies, I wasn't sure if it was 2 bodies in the same car, 2 bodies in different car, maybe 2 cars towed from the same spot. It looks like these are 2 separate things. But it's just so bizarre. And I think the thing about this Gus guy, when we find out more about him, I think that's going to be very revealing. So there's still been a lot of discussion about the potential motive, and some people have been saying that there's rumors that Celeste might have actually been pregnant at the time of her passing, and who knows, could that have, if that was the case, could that have been David's baby? Could it have been Gus's baby? Who knows how twisted this love triangle could really get at this.
I say this, right? If it was David's baby, then yeah, he's definitely the guilty one, because now he can't keep her a secret. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to know. And then he's going to be chastised, go to jail, a lot of things. He probably said, I can't go through that. She going to want to keep that baby too? Nah, I got to get rid of her. That's just me assuming, allegedly. The other guy, I don't know the motives for the other guy except him being jealous that he's not where David is and she's with David, and he don't got the type of power and money and connections David got, so maybe that drew him to, I don't know. I mean, what I want to know is how you fit a person in the trunk of a Tesla. I thought those trunks are tiny.
Point, right? But these posts have been going around and people are suggesting that maybe the messages infer that she could have been pregnant at the time. So this is David says, I'll join the group chat with wifey and give y'all the story time. And it says me and deleted user, this is David, got a kid on the way. And then this is a conversation. Somebody saying, basically, David, are you happily married or single? And basically, they're trying to find out what the relationship status is with him. And this deleted user, I think it's possible that this was Celeste. It's possible, all right. Atting David in the chat amid those rumors. People talking about kid on the way. That was a heart-stopping moment to read. Jesus Christ. Bruh, double homicide. It's from 2024. She died 25 and couldn't have been pregnant. The last confirmed spotting of her was July 2024. The same month, both she and David mentioned pregnancy in Discord. She was allegedly alive until July 2025, meaning she was out of the public eye for an entire year. It's possible she did actually have a kid, which is scary as hell. And people are saying, even if it's a joke, making a joke about having a kid with a 13-year-old at 19 is insane. This guy really is worse than the Joker. People saying deleted user, though. It seems like other screen grabs still show her name. Saying yes, meaning she had multiple Discords, just like on Instagram, or this is disgustingly referring to another girl. And it's saying the pregnancy announcement was 2024, so if that was about Celeste, she would have given birth by now. If it's true, then it's possible she had an abortion or miscarriage. She was just a child herself. Having a baby, oh boy, this is so effed. If she was pregnant then, she would have gave birth already. Saying, poor girl, this is so sad. She thought she was living it up. Sometimes teenagers need to listen to their parents. She left multiple times to be with this punk-ass man. Not putting blame on her, but sometimes children do need to follow rules and listen to the adults in their lives and not behave in such rebellious ways. Again, I'm not blaming her, so please don't come for me. May she rest well. People saying she couldn't have gotten an abortion, though. If a 14-year-old showed up to a clinic with a 20-year-old, they would most definitely contact the authorities, especially if they recognize Celeste was a missing child on the run. That's facts. That's facts, all right? Some people are saying that these screenshots could be fake, saying darker by the minute. I'm telling you, he's a sicko, and he can't erase all of his breadcrumbs. The investigators are busy, all right? People saying, I highly doubt she was ever pregnant. She probably just wanted to find a way to go see someone to ask for help. It happens all the times for victims. Okay. People saying, would you rather have dinner with David or King Von? That's crazy. All right. So this guy says, not sure if there's lots of proof of her wanting to be out other than one tweet where he says you wanted to be with your mum and sister, but this couldn't happen. Okay, actually typing that out, maybe you're right. Just saying that for a lot of it seems like he was manipulating her to be dependent on him to the point that she saw herself as just his girlfriend outside of the context of her being a child. Not defending him and don't mean to make it sound that way. I just think she probably never anticipated or had the mental maturity or age to understand just how much danger she was in. May she rest in peace, honestly. I do think she could have been pregnant potentially at some point or when he killed her. Having a baby with a 14-year-old is not something you can really hide, but murder was not the logical solution. Bro was a certified serial killer psychopath. Statistically, the most dangerous time for a woman with an abusive partner is during pregnancy. So I'm really thinking that's what happened. So look, this situation is so dark.
Man, this situation is more than dark. I don't know what his MO is. Like, did he want to get caught? Because there's no way in the world he thought he was going to get away with something like this. And was it the way that he wanted to get caught? Was that his masterpiece? I don't know. This is some real sick individual, sick in the mind. Like, who raised this guy right here? No one paid attention to what he was drawing and writing. I was paying attention to his lyrics, and his lyrics are off the wall. I don't understand how people didn't see that coming. Pause. You know, one thing I do want to say is rest in peace to that girl. But what teenagers, especially at that age, don't get is that many times your parents, our parents, you're told, we're told, we were all that age at one point. We were all being told what not to do, where not to go, but we avoided it. And I guarantee you, we all learned our lesson. Whether it made us a better person or worse, but you still learned the lesson. And for some reason, these kids, these new teenagers, I don't understand them. It's like they don't really want to learn a lesson. They want the lesson to learn them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of ass backwards if you ask me. But maybe, I'm not assuming, and I'm assuming right now, but I'm not blaming her. But if she had listened to her parents when they're telling her not to run away and maybe don't be with boys older than you. I don't know if they did say it or not, but let's just assume they did. Then she wouldn't be with this guy because she's too young. She was way too young. And at the same note, who's on his side? I'm sure he brought her around his family or something. I mean, even when they went to the restaurant or anywhere, he don't look that young. He don't look as young as her. He's 19. And she's 13. Let's be serious right here. You understand what I'm saying? That's crazy. And they say he knew her from 11 years old. That's real diabolical. Go in the comments. Let me know how you feel about the situation. And let me know what other video you want to see next. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel.